Hi everybody, my name is Caty Alvarez and I am making this video to speak about Jerry Wiseman's Presenting to Win. Now, this book is such a good book for anyone who struggles with presenting, or even if you don't think you struggle with presenting, it's still a really good book to help you better your presenting. Jerry Wiseman is a wonderful presenting coach who has worked with huge companies such as Yahoo, Microsoft, and Netflix. In his book, Presenting to Win, he helps you understand exactly why telling your story and making sure your audience knows why you're telling the story, what benefit it is to them to be listening to you, helps you capture their attention, keep their attention, and deliver exactly what you want to deliver without veering off of different paths that will distract your audience. Jerry Wiseman goes on and talks about how important it is for you to tell your story. Now, if you're presenting something, it's because you find it important and you find the need for your audience to know exactly what information you have to tell, whether it's at work or whether it's in school. There's always a story behind you talking. And if you find the need to present, that means that you really find it important for you to talk and for people to understand what you have to say. He helps you by identifying your goals and really saying what you have behind the message. And he explains to you how identifying what your story is so important, not only for you as a presenter, but for your audience. Once you tell your story and you really let your audience knows what's going on why you're saying what you're saying, it kind of, in a way, grabs your audience by the hand and says, let's go on this journey together. A big portion of Jerry's book is the whole WIFI idea. Now, WIFI stands for what's in it for you, meaning what's in it for the audience, what's in it for them to be listening to you. Jerry likes to explain that we need to identify the benefit of what we're speaking about for our audience. Now, he brought this up because he was noticing that a lot of presenters were just spilling all this information and not saying, hey, this is why you need to know this. So he came up with 6 triggers to help his presenters really figure out how to incorporate the WIFI concept of everything. He came up with the starters of, this is important to you because. What does this mean to you? Who cares about what you're saying? So why are you saying it? And the whole "and" concept. Now, you can use this in many, many, many ways. Now, if I am using this on the current presentation I am giving you, this isn't important to you because this is a business communications class. You need to know how to present certain things because we are learning how to go into the business world. In the business world, we are going to be presenting, and we need to learn this stuff, which is why we had to take this communications class. And that is why I am making this presentation on presenting to win. Now, one of the concepts that Jerry talks about is the incorrect way presenters use the word you. Now, you need to really understand who your audience is. This is the easiest way to not use you incorrectly. Jerry Wiseman gives a really good example of how he had a dentist who had these special instruments to help with root canals, and he was speaking to investors, or he was practicing with Jerry on how to speak to investors, and he was talking to them as if they were going to be using the instruments, and Jerry stopped him and said, no, I'm an investor, so you need to speak to me as if I'm an investor, not as if I'm a dentist that's going to be performing root canals, because I'm not going to be performing root canals. That is an incorrect way of using you. And the dentist corrected himself and started speaking to the investors as investors. Always make sure you're using the right you. Now, something Jerry spent a lot of his book space trying to explain was how to capture an audience's attention. Now, this is considered your opening. Now, this is one of the most important parts of your presentation because you want to get your audience's attention and make sure that they forget about the fight that they had with their spouse, forget about the past class, forget about the other meeting that they just got out of. They need their attention to be on you and what you have to say. So he gives this example of 7 different types of openings. First, he uses the question opening. He uses a factoid. He uses a retrospective and the prospective way of getting your audience's attention. He uses the anecdote, then he gives you the option of using a quotation, an aphorism, or an analogy. Now, these are all different ways that you can open your presentation. It just really depends on who your audience is, what they're going to get more attracted to, what you're presenting, and how you're going to be presenting it from then on out. That's how you will choose what your specific opening would be. As students and people who are looking for careers in the business, we are constantly going to be presenting. So this book is perfect for us. We are learning how to capture an audience to stay with us, how to make sure that we keep them involved, how to deliver exactly what we want to deliver, and how to succeed. And entirely as students, that's all we really want to do is to succeed. And Jerry Wiseman's book, Presenting to Win, is helping us do just that, win.